Hey everyone, where has all the surplus gone? You know, that old shitty country song sang by whatever her name is back in the 90s. Where have all the cowboys gone? Where has all the surplus gone? I have made many videos on this starting around 2018 when one of my big suppliers in Europe informed me that Germany would no longer be selling their surplus to this company. And that's why there's been a shortage of Flecktarn, a bunch of other cool German stuff that we were so used to seeing throughout the 2000s and most of the 2010s. That's just one example. We're seeing less French stuff, Polish stuff, Italian stuff, Czech stuff. You name it, it's getting harder to find. Where's all that going? Are they just destroying it, which is what I was initially told? Well, perhaps not. So we'll get to that in this video. Obviously, I'm wearing one of my favorite patterns that I sell and I've been selling for years. I got into the business in around 2014 to 15, and it started going from there, so I caught the very tail end of being able to get the old world stuff that I grew up with. And then I started noticing that things were getting harder to get. Certain things, like German body armor that was available pretty much all the time, or Belgian Schubert BA26s. Things like that started to get really hard to find and dried up, but they're still producing and using it, so why the hell would it be hard to get? Are they just destroying all this stuff? Well, that would go against their environmental kind of shticks of, burning plastic and Kevlar and nylon gear. So it made me wonder, and it was kind of a mystery, and I made videos and said that they were just destroying it, which is what I was told. But now, after talking in circles for the first part of this video, just to get you guys riled up and getting there fired up on the keyboards, you guys wait for this. This is going to be awesome. I was informed recently by an extremely reliable source who may or may not have connections within the EU Parliament. And this source knew about my videos and my situation of my business of selling military surplus items, and the fact that I was saying that Germany wasn't selling stuff anymore, it was getting hard to find, blah, blah, blah. The first part of the video already explained that. So the source did a little bit of digging while the source was back in the Heimatland. And the source found out that since about 2015 or 16, a lot of EU nations have been decreasing their sales of surplus to private businesses and have been selling their surplus to a certain nation called, what is it again? It hasn't been in the news for a while recently, so I think it's Ukraine or something like that. Yeah, that's what it was. Ukraine. Yeah. So they've been selling surplus to Ukraine since about 2015 and 16. So all their secondhand gear that usually we would get and enjoy as Americans, not using it for war, hopefully, never, is now going, or has been going to a place that they believed war would break out in, and oddly enough, it did this year. So what does that mean for the future of surplus in general? Well, that means until this war is over, if it ever ends, which I hope it does, for more than one reason, and we'll talk about that, it means that surplus from Europe especially, and the US hasn't been selling much surplus either, that's why you haven't been seeing much US stuff on the market. They've been sending stuff to Ukraine for years as well, because you've noticed that stuff's starting to dry. Even the shitty UCP stuff, the pouches and the gear and all that stuff, it's been drying up. So it was weird because a couple years ago I was wondering why my former platoon leader that I had while we were over in Iraq was in Ukraine on a advisory role kind of mission, and I didn't really think much of it. But now it makes a lot of sense. People have been speculating for years, since 2014 when Russia invaded or annexed or took back, whatever your view is, who gives a fuck. They were in Ukraine. They were in that region, and they had been there since 2014, and now obviously it's expanded a little bit beyond that. Not getting into that whole thing. Don't care to hear it in the comments. Yes, I can watch the news too. I choose not to. I just know what's going on a little bit, enough to know that the war is still going on. So that means probably, combined with all these other these issues, like the supply chain issues, getting stuff shipped from Europe, which for me has been a massive pain in the ass since 2020, especially last year it really started to kick in. This means that the noose around the surplus supply chain's neck is tightening a bit. Not good for people like you and me. Not good for me because I sell it and rely on it for my main source of income, which I love doing. That's why I keep doing it. Not good for you because surplus does wear out, as you know. You can use it and use it and use it, and if you use it hard, it does wear out, but it's always there and available. So what my prediction is that it's going to be tight while this whole thing's going on, and until there's a permanent resolution established, and there's no more threat of war, which is very unlikely considering what's going on in the world. Certain people in this world love war. They make a lot of money off of it. Since 2 of our longest wars are now over, who knows? Just a prediction. But if all goes well and the war ends as soon as possible, that might mean that surplus might start opening back up from Germany, Poland, basically a lot of NATO countries that haven't been surplusing as much anymore. If this keeps dragging on, surplus is going to be very tight. There's going to be a much lower supply of it. And that's kind of what I'm afraid of. But don't panic. I'm not telling you to panic yet. I'm just, again, giving you a kind of synopsis of what my predictions are based on the information that I have. So, with that, no, surplus is not dead, but this explains also why there haven't been Mosin Nagant 9130s and all this other Soviet leftover shit from Ukraine coming in since about 2014, right? That's about when it actually stopped, because they were still importing Mosin Nagants and Nagant revolvers and stuff in 2013, or importing ammo, or exporting, rather. Ukraine was exporting to us. Bunch of Soviet leftover stuff, gear, helmets. I haven't found Soviet helmets for a while. Wonder why. Those were mostly coming from Ukraine. We cannot technically get stuff directly from Russia. We haven't been able to for several years, including helmets and arms and anything military related, really, unless it's like a private sale. Then it's still under the watchful eye of our friends at the KGB and other three-letter agencies around the world. But we were getting stuff from third-party nations is what they call it, or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me. I'm not an expert. But Ukraine was one of those countries that if it sits in the country for long enough, then it's okay to ship to the U.S., even though it's Russian/Soviet. What I'm hoping for more than one reason, is the war ends, because I'm not a very pro-war guy. I think it's really stupid to do that. I think it's one of the stupidest things people can do. I don't like people suffering. I don't like people killing each other. And I absolutely hate this game that's played around the world to either make money, make a point, whatever. I hope the war ends for that reason, first and foremost. The second reason is I want to keep getting cool surplus shit. I really do. And I want, not just from Ukraine, but from Germany, from France, all the other NATO countries that used to just, try to get rid of this stuff, make a few bucks back, and the U.S. people enjoy it for hunting, camping, you name it, LARPing, airsoft, just to have collectors, nerds like myself. And that's what another reason why I hope this ends and there's no threat of it coming back again. Is that realistic? Only time will tell. I really hope it goes in a positive way. But again, I have to ramble because it's my channel and it's me. It's why you guys are subscribing while you're watching, or you're not subscribing, you're not watching, you're going, God, this guy needs to just shut the fuck up, finally. I get that too. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much the scoop, the most recent block of information I've got on the topic. If you got any questions, I'll try to answer them, but I just told you everything that I know. Let's hope for the best. And in the meantime, I'm still going to be able to source things from around the world. There are other countries and places where I can get things from, not in as big of quantities, but they're still really cool stuff. They're just going to cost a little bit more. I'm hoping all this stuff settles down from this past couple of years, because so far the 2020s have been less than pleasant for multiple reasons for multiple people. So anyway, that's all I've got. Again, thank you guys for getting me up to 100,000 subscribers. That was awesome. Got the silver play button, made that video. So proud of that. You guys are fantastic. If you want to support my work beyond just watching and stuff like that, you can support me on Patreon or become a YouTube channel member. But on Patreon, I do have exclusive podcasts that go on there, and they're not going to be released to the public, so you can get access to those for $5 a month or more. Also, $5 a month or more on either method of support gets you into my Discord server, which is a really fun time. A lot of cool people on there. It's a fun time too. Some curmudgeons, you know who you are, but it's fun. It spices things up. Anyway, that would be cool if you want to do that. If you want to support me but you can't do it monetarily, I totally get that. Just go ahead and like this video. Share it out. Share it out if you want. That actually helps too. And if somebody's wondering why surplus isn't coming in from Europe like it used to, well, the floodgates, you can just show them this video and they can make up their own mind. So, with that, I appreciate you guys watching. I really do. You guys are fantastic. Again, I know I say that in every video, but I actually do mean it. It's really cool that I actually have an audience. Who knew that some fat hick from Wisconsin, rural Wisconsin, would ever have a channel that had over 100,000 subs and have all these cool people following and learning things and teaching him something too. Talking on the third person there. Anyway, I'll stop rambling, guys. Again, can't thank you enough. And let me know what you think about this subject. If you've heard anything different, or if you just want to say hi in the comments. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, again, and we'll see you on the next video.